Hey guys, it's Shannon. I know you can't see me, so I have to tell you that. Today we're going to do a video that I've been really dreading, but it was requested, so here we are, we're doing this. I've been putting it off as long as possible, but today we're going to do, if you're wondering why my face is covered, foundation. Maybe I can talk like this the whole time. I never, hardly ever go out of the house without something covering my face. I've had acne problems, severe acne problems for over 15 years. So I am very self-conscious about my skin. I have scars. I mean, you can see I still have a lot of issues on and off that I still have with ongoing acne. So, but I had somebody request this video, so I'm trying to be brave and do it, and I'll show you what I do to my face every day. She said, oh, you have such beautiful skin, and I was like, oh my gosh, no I don't, I have a horrible skin. So I will show you how I try to cover up all of this mess on my face and try to get a, somewhat even tone and, looking presentable. Sorry, I'm getting all my stuff out. Somewhat presentable to leave the house without looking crazy. So, sometimes I use a primer. I usually don't. But here's the Urban Decay. What is this called? It's complexion primer. Oh, pore perfecting primer. I use that on occasion. I'm thinking about getting another one that I just saw, and if I do get it, I'll share with you guys, because I have very, very oily skin. So I need something that kind of absorbs oil, and most of these don't. They kind of make me more oily. But the first thing I put on is Laura Mercier. I have a light up here, so it's kind of reflecting a lot. Silk Cream Foundation, and this is in Bamboo Beige. I love this. I love it, love it, love it. It has a lot of coverage, so if you don't have problem skin, this might not be great for you. It might be too thick for you, but I really love it. And then I either use my fingers, which are good. Clean hands are good to me because the warmth from your skin kind of helps you blend better. But I got this little sponge from Target, from Sonia Kashuk, and it's it's a rip-off of the Beauty Blender. You might have seen it at Sephora. It's cheaper, but I've heard the Beauty Blender is much better. But one day I'll get it, but you know what? Until then, I like my little cheapie. But how this works is you get it wet, and then you kind of stipple the foundation on your skin. And so I'll just do that as my first step, and I'll shut up and not talk the entire time, so I can do a decent job, possibly. But I really do like these kinds of sponges, because it does make a nicer finish to your foundation. And this is a little bit not wet enough because I used it earlier and it's dried off a little bit. All the way up into the hairline. And I also like this one because the other end is kind of pointy, and it's really meant for like using it for concealer and stuff, but I really like to use it for getting the excess out of my eyebrows, because I don't like putting stuff on top of my eyebrows when there's foundation in there. It just starts to look really cakey and weird. So that's what I like to use it for. And then I'll use it one more time. I'll show you guys in a second. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay. And then another product from Target, which I love this. It's, I think, like 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know. I can't remember how much it is. But this is also Sonia Kashuk, and it's all different colors of concealer. And then this little guy in the corner is a translucent. So say you're like covering a blemish, you can just dip your finger in the translucent or with a brush if you like to be a clean person, and cover up what you just did so it stays and doesn't go anywhere. So I use the lightest color for my under eye. And I kind of do the same kind of motion, like a stippling, but with my finger. Just, don't do it too hard or you're going to be poking yourself in the eye. And then I like to come down a little bit and kind of follow, because this is a little bit of a lighter color, and follow my cheekbone. Creates slight contouring, nothing crazy. And then same thing on the other side. And look up. And it kind of brings a little bit more prominence to your cheekbone. And then I'm going to use the other end of this little sponge again and just kind of tap it, just so it doesn't look too goopy and it doesn't, because, you know, you have to be a little bit careful with concealer because it can settle into those little lines. Okay, so we do that, and then I'm going to take this kind of more yellowy color because it's a good match for my skin because my skin's really yellow, and I'm just going to go back and conceal any areas that have blemishes. And I use the same motion once again. Tap, blend. And I also like to put a little bit kind of on the inside of my nostril and right around the outside because I have some broken capillaries there. And that'll get rid of the redness. Okay, I think we're pretty good there. Okay, and so next, depending on my skin color, I use two different things. I use self-tanner a lot, so right now, as you can tell, I'm very white. I have not been using it. So if I'm darker, I use my Korres powder, Wild Rose powder in Honey Beige, but I will not be using that today because I'm too light. And I will be using MAC Studio Fix, which is a great foundation on its own. It's like a powder-based foundation, and NC25. So like I said, if, you know, I kind of go back and forth just depending on my skin tone. And so I just kind of, I dab this a little bit because I don't want to mess up what we've already set. I mean, we've already used, you know, foundation, but I'm oily, and so I like to use something to kind of set it and give it a little bit more coverage. So I just kind of stipple this on all over. Okay. So we're done with all of that good stuff. And so next, we need to add a little bit of color, because look at this. It's like, wah, wah. I just have a big white face. And so let's add a little bit of color back in. So I take my bronzer, whatever kind you like, but this is Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and here it is. It's not very shimmery, which I like, and it's a good color. It's not too dark, it's not too orangey, it's pretty decent. You might hear my dogs barking in the background, so I'm sorry. With bronzer, what you want to do is starting at your forehead and then going down underneath your cheekbone, you want to do a backward C, and then connect it at the top with the other side. Up at your hairline. And I like bronzer a lot. I'll do the sides of my nose, my jawline. And then I usually bring it down my neck too. Because sometimes I have the issue of my face being whiter than my body. And so bronzer really comes in handy for that. And this creates a little bit of contour in the face too. I'm not super huge on contouring. Like, I don't do a ton, but if you wanted to, you could use a thinner, no, that's the wrong one, a thinner brush, like this one, and do a little bit more contouring on the cheeks, like underneath your cheekbone. But, you know, that's up to you. But if you did want to do it, you know, it'll create more of a cheekbone look. Okay, so that's done with bronzer. And then I'm going to do a little bit of blush. And I talked about in my Sephora haul video the blushes that I got, and I really love them. I love them so much. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay. This one is called Natural Beauty, and you can see they say it's a soft red. So you need very little of it, and I just take this shorter brush, and I just kind of, just one little time, and then I make a slight smile and put it on the apples of my cheeks. I can't do it while I'm talking. I just dot it at first, in kind of a circle. Just kind of stipple again, and then I blend up just slightly. You want the bulk of it to be on the apples of your cheeks, but you can follow the line of your cheekbone a little bit. But you don't want like that 80s like blush. You know, like those 80s posters that I'm sure you've seen before, and they're like, blush, blunt haircut, big earring. Yeah, I mean, 80s are cool and everything, but that blush doesn't look super natural. Or it does look super natural, but it doesn't look super space natural. Okay, so there we go. There's that. And then to finish, I use the Makeup Forever HD powder. And just put that all over. And I do a lot of powdery stuff on my face because I'm very oily. So this might be a little overkill for you. You might be like, you know what, I'm kind of dry, I don't need all that powder. You know what, sister? More power to you. I am jealous of you. But for me, I need a lot. I need all the help I can get, girl. Okay, so that's it. That's my basic foundation. And I still look very pale, of course, because I have zero anything on my eyes. So for that, you will go to another video. But for the face, we're done. So I will see you guys next time. I feel like a human again. Yay! Bye.